Hello, hello. Good evening, people. So good to see you. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Hola, ¿qué tal? Everyone, welcome, bienvenidos. Bienvenue. Benvenuti. Everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Today we have an amazing program, especially kind of synchronized, aligned with a Friday evening, because today we're going to talk about addictions and obsessions. We're going to talk about that piece of information, of circumstance in our life that could make us very, very, very strong, but maybe at the present moment make us very, very, very weak. And today we're going to learn to see ourselves, see our vulnerability, see our challenges from a different aspect. Obviously, with the empathy, with the understanding, with the compassion that we deserve from ourselves. Remembering that there are always these little, how we call them? Let's call them dark angels, which are fear, guilt, and shame. And this will be our what's the word that I'm looking for? They will be the catalyst of many of our addictions and obsessions. So first of all, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Let me just check the time to see how we're doing. It's everyone is all right. Tío, ¿cómo estás? Send me your thumbs up just to realize and to make sure that everyone is okay. Get comfortable. Hello, Mr. Yoga in the making. Well done. Thank you so very much. So good, so very good to see you. And are we ready to go deep into this pool of circumstances, full of new possibilities that our addictions and obsessions can be? As always, I would like to start with thanking you for being here. Truly thanking MoreYoga, Shamir, the space that we are, that is connecting us, the internet, Instagram, you, and even I, to be in this space. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And secondly, I would like to start by giving you an opportunity to know, why am I going to talk about addictions? Who am I to talk about addictions? And I think if I have a strong argument about something, I think it would be addictions. Even before self-healing, let me be honest. If I believe that I'm strong in self-healing, addictions probably were my toughest, greatest, most powerful challenge ever in my life. Since I've been addicted to absolutely everything that has crossed my path, from people to substances, food, alcohol, circumstances, places, I mean, name it. I don't think there has been something in my life that I have not been addicted to. People say that there is this addictive personality. And I would kind of agree. Because at least in my perception, I have needed crutches to be able to walk, to be able to sustain me, to be able to say, you know something, I cannot understand this reality. This reality is way too painful. Sugar, that's another one. Sugar is another massive addictive substance. You know that sugar is even more addictive than cocaine? So when we are or feel or have the understanding that we are weak, that we need that support mechanism around us, and we don't have it, the easiest and probably the most synchronized with life are everything else that comes along: food, drink, alcohol, gambling, coffee. What else? I think coffee is the only thing I have not been addicted to, because I always have a lot of energy. So I don't need more energy. But besides that, I made a list of things that, of little addiction topics that we want to talk about. So if you have even your very specific addiction, if I don't name it, please feel free to say, oh, a friend of mine has this addiction, and we will not say anything. But as I was saying, I've been addicted my whole life. I probably had my first encounter with substances when I was 14 years old, when by accident I was using contact glue, trying to put paper wall on a wall that I had destroyed and I needed to cover out of shame. And the glue just sent me into this trouble that for me was the first time that I was like, oh my God, there is actually an exit out of this reality. Yoo-hoo! And from there, pretty much, I was addicted all the way to 2012. Yes, 2012. It came to a point in my life that I realized that if I wanted to heal myself, the first thing I had to do is to be able to control myself, to be able to control my mind. And although I have changed many habits, especially eating habits, exercise habits, I began to do meditation, I began to do yoga. I mean, a lot of things happened in my life, but the addictions were there to remind me, remember where you come from. And I know that behind all that surface of strength, there is a massive layer of weakness. And it came to a point that I decided, this is it. I was not going to be the kind of people that says abstination is the maximum I can expect out of this. I needed to know that it would come from me, that I would not need it because I have already filled the space, the empty space that was built inside myself, that was craving for all that stuff. Mainly at the end of 2011, it was weed, it was alcohol, it was sex, it was food, it was mainly those four, I think. Mainly those four. But it was just, it truly made me angry to realize that every single day, by around 6:33 with 33 seconds, the devil would knock on my door and we begin to say, knock, 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 who's there? And I would be like, oh my God, addictions who, whatever, addictions, whatever, just go for whatever you can now. And that for me was like this, boom, hitting a wall, because I couldn't. So I began to truly think, what can I do to get myself beyond this massive barrier, this massive obstacle? How can I jump this wall? And at that time, in 2012, came as a realization, I have to remove myself from where I am and put myself in a place where I cannot reach my addictions, where I don't have access to my addictions. I have to put myself in a place where I am so worried about something else that I have no time to think about how weak I am, because I have to use every single gram, every single inch of my strength to survive. So back in that time, I thought, okay, what is my hugest, biggest, massiveness, most tremendous fear that I have in my life? And back in 2011, it was October 2011, it was about having nothing and having no one, and pretty much be empty. So I sat there in my living room and I was like, how the hell am I going to confront my massive, biggest fear of not knowing what to do, not having where to go, not having no one to talk to, having absolutely nothing to survive with, and still somehow survive? And the answer came an evening as I was sitting in my living room watching, just passing the channels, black. Back then I used to have television. I used to have Skype. Since then I don't have Skype. I have a TV, but I don't really watch movies. And I was flicking the channels like we normally do when we have 500 channels and nothing to watch. Black. And one of those channels stopped in the travel channel, and there was about Mexico. And it showed me the Mayan Riviera. And I was like, that is my country. That's where I come from. And if I'm going to die somewhere in this massive challenge that I'm going to put myself, I think it should be there. One, because it's my country, because I have a huge connection with this land and these people. Two, because it's absolutely gorgeous. Three, because I had an issue with it. I was angry with my country for being so difficult to deal with, and because they were not very welcoming of my sexuality, because I suffer bullying and government-wise in terms of putting a business. It was just so difficult to put a business there because taxes and laws and employment situations, I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I was really angry with Mexico, and I decided to leave. And when this happened, when I decided to go back, I said, okay, let's go back to Mexico. It was October 2011. And 11/11/11 was coming in. I don't know if you remember or if you are into numerology, but 11/11/11 marked this series of dates that the New Age people regarded as very transcendental. And in Mexico, we were preparing for the end of the Mayan calendar, the coming to the end of an era. So I thought, what a perfect opportunity to go there and put myself in the hands of destiny and see what happens. So if my fear was having nothing, before I lost everything, I got rid of everything. I decided to get rid of absolutely all that I had. Flat, my history of life, everything that I could possibly own, the memories of so many different stages of my life. And I went with a backpack and a staff that I found in Finsbury Park. And I went to Mexico not knowing how I was going to survive. I had my ticket, yes. And I had money for about 2 weeks. And obviously the time came in, the time happened. And I found myself surviving with being of benefit. I began doing tarot readings in the street. I began doing yoga. I mean, unfortunately, this is something very interesting. I began teaching classes after a week. I arrived in Playa del Carmen. And that was kind of destiny. And I still have a beautiful group of people that I know from that time that were so helpful. And this is another thing that I learned. Universe provides and universe supports your progress. When you are in this journey of improving yourself so you can be of service to others, somehow you pretty much have a VIP ticket to stardom. And that's how it happened. Of course, at the end of that journey, I ended up in hospital with pneumonia and in the near-death experience I told you about 2 days ago. However, today we're talking about addictions. And about addictions, I can tell you that my very first near-death experience was about addictions. Because my near-death experience that I had in 2008 was thanks to a overdose with a cocktail of many drugs. Because I thought, well, why not? Just let's put them all together and do it. So I know how it feels. And today, I want to share with you the little key that might unlock the power to your transition through your addictions or obsessions. And how is that? How is that? Well, after all these years of huge, deep, powerful meditation, trying to understand what the hell is going on in this world and why have I gone through so many changes and why do I still keep kind of bouncing from wall to wall. I mean, what was it? What was it? What is it? What is it? And what will be? What will be? And I came to the realization, follow your darkness to find your light. That has been and you don't need to know, you don't need to have the light to be able to walk in darkness with confidence and strength. Those kind of arguments were like, wow, really? So let's say that I want to follow my darkness in terms of addictions. And I have a list of addictions. For example, coffee. What does coffee give you? Energy. So if you want to use your addiction to find your light or your strength, how would you do that? Well, you realize that what you are craving, this is my point of view, by the way, these do not reflect the opinions of this channel or this program. This is my personal opinion. Coffee, for example, and I have a list here. But if you know that you are craving energy, somehow you feel depleted of that energy. We are beings of energy. We are created in energy, and we produce energy. How could it be that we lack energy? It's like being in this blue planet who has no water and you have no water. It's like, how does that make sense? Well, the way I see it is you have to understand that this is what you are craving. You are craving energy, for example. What can you do to change your reality so as much as you give, you receive? In terms of energy, this is very kind of clear for me. We have to be a constant flow of giving and receiving. If you are giving a lot more than what you are receiving, you begin to feel depleted. If you are very good at giving, but have a blockage in the receiving, you begin to feel depleted. If you feel like you have to give that much, but what you're receiving, although can be a lot, is not filling you up. And I'm talking about, for example, money, material gain. And you can be very successful in what you do, but that's not making you happy. Because the more you have, the more you want. And it's this snowball. That happens with every addiction, every single addiction. I didn't put money in my list of addictions, but I think many people are addicted to money and power. That's another one. So I have a list of things, and let me know what you think. I would like to put it under your consideration to see what you think of my interpretation of different addictions. So coffee. What we crave is energy. The solution would be to rest more and to begin to fill up our deposits, our vaults of energy. I don't know if many of you who are addicted to coffee, now that you're in lockdown, that you don't have the need to that much energy, how are you doing? Tobacco. Tobacco, for me, has been that connection with death. We are inhaling what we normally expel. We are transversing the process of life. Everything for a second of peace, for a second of mind silence. I don't know if you agree with me, and I would like to know your opinion, so please share with me. When we smoke, you have that 5-second moment of nothingness. If you suffer from anxiety, if you suffer from depression, if you suffer from mental health in general, you have that 5-second moment when you hold it, 1, 2, 3, and you just feel this release. Let's go. So tobacco, it's about peace, finding peace. How do you find that peace? There is one meditation that I'm going to probably share it now. It's the vacuum, to create vacuum. So you inhale very deep, exhale completely, and create a vacuum and hold it for spaces of either 6, 12, 15, 21 seconds until you feel that rush of adrenaline. And then you have exactly that. Alcohol, freedom, sex, about connection and intimacy. People who are addicted to sex is people who are addicted or who are craving human connection, human intimacy. Unfortunately, obviously, like with every addiction, we don't get what we want. It's like these very, very tiny drops of what we think we are craving, but it's nothing even compared. We need to connect. We need to connect deeper with our people. alcohol, about freedom, about tell your mind, shut and let me be myself. In terms of alcohol, it's very interesting because it would be to know what kind of person do you become when you drink. Are you the party? Are you the crier? Are you the angry one? And depending on that, he's looking at events in your life, circumstances in your life that will give you that. If you are the fighter one, probably you're an activist. I don't know. Probably you are someone who likes to fight for the rights of being. Someone who is very opinionated and said, you know something, I'm going to tell you something about whatever I think. Maybe if you are a crier, maybe you need to get connected with, you have to get in connection with your traumas and feelings and emotions. And you have to stop trying to be so strong and so hard on yourself and get the opportunity to just listen to your emotions and share them and be open with them. And if you don't have no one to talk to, well, begin to make videos and talk to yourself, call a friend or ask the banker. I don't know, but this is the challenge of addictions. You have to get to know yourself and be ready to make amends, to make that transition. Gambling, adventure and excitement. I mean, just having that adrenaline going for those moments of maybe my life will change. Or let me just give it a try, and who knows? It might be cool for, at least for the moment, for the time period between I'm told that I'm not a winner from the moment I began gambling, that place between, that place in between that allows me to dream. What if I win the lottery? Oh my God, oh gosh, I will buy this and then I will go there and I will share it with these people and it will be so, so amazing and my life will be so, so amazing and everything will be fantastic. And then, boom, the curtain of reality. Nope, you didn't win it. Video games, alternative realities. Just to make us feel alive. Sometimes we are so numb in our reality that we need something that gives us a sense of, something. This is happening for this reason, and therefore there is a logic in our life, in our reality. There is a lot of things that don't make sense. Call it like the reality that right now we are living. For many people, it makes a lot of sense because it's based on fear. And based on fear, everything makes sense. Save yourself! Yes! So whatever, just run and make sense. But if you tap, and you don't feel that much fear, you begin to question, oi, really? How come the only reality that I'm watching is on the news? Why I can walk kilometers around my area and I don't see people, the reality hitting outside? Why everything is kind of on the news? You get people telling you, but it's like a 1 or 2, 3. But it's not like everyone around you is dying. Run from your life, hide from. I know that it's everyone's opinion, but when you don't feel the fear, you begin to question, okay, so how is this reality happening? Why are we killing each other? Yes, you were telling me that you are killing other people because those were killing you first, so now you're killing them and that makes you better. Why? Or you say that we have no food to feed all those guys, but you throw away all that food because nobody's paying for it, but you cannot give it away because... Why? Or you're telling me that you are throwing those people to the streets because they cannot pay their rent, but you have so much money that you don't actually need the rent, but you have to make a statement that you are the powerful one and therefore you have to put them on the street. Okay. And then you're telling me that all those people in prison are bad ones because they were taught when they were children that they are bad, because actually they never had opportunity to experience themselves in a different way, so they could come and be a different way. Right, so instead of teaching them or helping them, we are punishing them. Right, so it's a very interesting society, this one that we live. So when you begin to observe the world that we live in, a lot of it doesn't make sense. And then you understand why teenagers, young people especially, very introvert people, they tend to hide in video games, behind the screens, behind a profile, because it's a lot safer. It makes a lot more sense. There are rules that make sense. You don't kill someone out of nowhere. I mean, or if the game is about killing everything, well, you just know that you have to kill everything. Anyway, we continue with addictions. How are we doing on time? So, half the way there. People, if you have an addiction that you would like to kind of discuss, or give me the opportunity to give you my point of view in how can your person, the friend that you know, come through stronger on the other side. I challenge you, dare you to write an addiction that you feel is very, very weird or strong or different, that you have no idea how to deal with. Let's take very destructive addictions. Let's talk about drugs. Let's talk about weed, for example, cannabis. People who are addicted to cannabis. And when I talk about being addicted, it's not the person who smokes a joint every 2 weeks or every week on the weekends just to relax and feel cool and chill, or those who are more shamanic and they smoke to connect with their spirit world. I'm talking about those who constantly need to smoke every day. Schizophrenia. Oh, that's more than addiction. That is a result of addiction. That is the what happens when you get that place where yes, no, and you feel broken inside because you are torn apart by two realities. I want to do this, but I'm told it's wrong, and I need to stop, but it makes me feel good. I don't know what to do, but I know exactly what to do, but I should not be doing it. But fuck what other people think, and I'm going to do it. And I mean, the chaos just goes on and on and on. I would say, with schizophrenia, in my experience, the tapping, the ability to disconnect my thoughts from my emotions have been the boatman that had crossed me to where I've been to where I want to be. Not once, not twice, but every single day of your life, for the day until the day you die. This is going to be the practice of your life, the practice of your existence for the rest of your life. I mean, period. Schizophrenia, paranoia, psychosis, delusion, they are very, very powerful, that when out of hand, allow your doctors to give you the breathing space to work on yourself, but then work on yourself and realize that you don't have to be schizophrenic all the time. You don't have to be bipolar all the time. This is just a condition, a momentarily condition. I'm talking about, obviously, where the person is in faculties, or in power of their own faculties. Yes. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Very, very good. I loved it. And please send me, challenge me. Send me more addictions that you think are giving you trouble at this time in time. Let's talk about cocaine, the rich man's drug. Cocaine is about self-confidence. How many rich people lack self-confidence? They pretend they have the confidence because that's what they need to do to go out into the money world, into the material world, pretend that they have everything, but in reality they are shedding themselves. They are fat and bald, and they only think about, they are very good at what they do, but the rest of their lives is chaos. And this is kind of very obvious of the nowadays world. We have to pretend to be something we are not. We have to pretend to be strong. We have to pretend that we have no vulnerability, that we have nothing that holds us back, that we have already dealt with all our issues, and that if we still have issues, they are not strong enough to stop us. When in reality, we don't feel like that. And we go back home, and we need lines of cokes, alcohol, sex, and everything together to make us feel alive, to make us feel like, okay, we can deal with this, because tomorrow I have to go back and pretend that I am not again myself. Ketamine, numbing yourself, getting in this tunnel of I feel nothing. Let me for once feel nothing, like a painkiller of the mind, like an ability to say, stop it. I cannot deal with my reality anymore. It's either too much or too little, and it's just too painful. Let's talk about food. Oh yes. Well, food. I'm gonna make a little window in the drugs department and go talk about food, because food is very, 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 very powerful. Nourishment. This connects with our inner child. So if we have food issues, let's think about our inner child, how much it craves the security and the safety of our own parents, our own carers, of the society culture that surrounds us. Imagine yourself, remember yourself when you were a child. How many times you were shut up and do what you're told. Just go to your room. Have you done your homework? I mean, how many times, how do you think it affected you every time somebody told you, shut up? Shut up. Mobile phones, another one, very good one, NG. So, how can you work with food addictions? And let's talk first about eating too much. Then we talk about not eating. But let's talk about eating too much. Our third chakra and our solar plexus are the ones located in this area. This area is the one that connects with our emotions and willpower. When we eat a lot, we feel safe because we feel physically an emptiness that is within us. When we get fat, we build a protection around us. My youth teacher used to say, every single layer of fat, it's a layer that stops you from being yourself. So don't think about losing weight because you want to look good. Think about how much I need to protect myself, and why do you feel that you need to protect yourself? Why do you feel so unsafe? And how does that connect with, I need to feel safe when eating. I need to feel comfort with eating. How have I dealt with my food addiction? I began giving myself the love and appreciation that I need. I began working with my inner child. I began doing inner child meditations. I began doing inner child retreats. I did a lot of family constellations. I don't know if you know about family constellations, but they did wonders for my food addictions and child traumas. And just feeling that nourishment from the mother that probably wasn't there. And I'm not saying that your mother didn't love you. I'm talking that your mother probably didn't love you the way you needed to be loved or you wanted to be loved. And that is a massive difference for a child. A child cannot point fingers to the mom that you don't love me, because we know we are loved. But we know also that we are not loved the way we needed to be loved. Or we wanted to be loved, probably the way we needed, but not the way we wanted to be loved. The way we thought and felt we deserved to be loved. And that created this massive emptiness of, I am not enough. There is something wrong with me. And where is my real tribe? When you begin to work with yourself, you begin to realize that food simply begins to be less important. And then you start making changes and you start going from fast foods to healthy foods, which you at the beginning think are not as tasty or spicy, but then you realize that you don't need that much spice, you don't need that much flavor. You can be a lot more subtle with your foods. Now let's talk about, I hope that answered your questions, or just satisfy the food addiction circumstance. Let's talk about not eating, anorexia and bulimia. The same thing. It's a very similar. I also went through my process of bulimia. I used to feel fat. I used to be fat, and I used to feel very, very guilty for every food that I ate, for every pleasure that I would give to myself. I would feel guilty. I would feel ashamed of myself. I would feel just blocked with dark energy, afraid of what could happen if I could eat. I would imagine that I would just be fat, and nobody would like me ever. And it would be this tornado of dark emotions just pulling me and creating this sensation within myself, like I don't want to eat or make myself sick. Again, you have to work. If you know anyone, if you have gone also yourself through this eating disorder situation, give yourself the love. First of all, and most of all, forgive yourself. Forgive others for how they loved you, for how little or how tough. Forgive yourself for have chosen this life. Forgive yourself for everything that it is and for has not been. And if you want to talk about forgiveness, I would like to invite you on Monday. I'm going to be talking about forgiveness, gratitude, and letting go. So I will invite you to tune in on Monday for the forgiveness and gratitude program. So food, here we are. Anyone, please. I hope you're enjoying this. How you're feeling? Is everyone okay? Shall we stretch a little bit? What is your name? Oh, sorry, wait. My name is Eduardo, but my spiritual name is Ankh-Samsara. And today we are talking about addictions and how to use our addictions to create a different reality. So, if you have an addiction, the easiest thing to do is see what result, what experience creates in you. How do you transform when you have this sensation? What does it give you? What experience do you experience when you're experiencing your addiction? And analyze it. So it said, okay, so I have this, I become this person, I am this happy, or I become this spiritual, or I become this relaxed, or I become this excited, or I become this confident, or I become this safe and secure, or I become whatever it is that your addiction is giving you. And then make a list of possible substitutes, healthy substitutes. And begin to, this is where tapping and the Ankh-Samsara Kriya works really well, because you probably realize, shit, I need to bring more fun into my life. And the next step would be, I think, going for dancing lessons. Well, not now, but probably dancing in front of my friends, or dancing at home, allowing myself to dance. Make it a commitment, something that includes others, because in that way it's easier to maintain the commitment. I mean, many times I made a commitment with myself, like, oh yes, I'm going to do it. But until I had that other that would be witness of my determination or my commitment, it was very difficult to do it. And begin to play with yourself. Begin to see yourself as this playing ground where you are about to discover something really beautiful and powerful about yourself. And what you think is your weakness could very well be your greatest strength. For example, now I have just gone through 5 days of live broadcasts. I have never in my life been so out there, so honest, so authentic, so truthful, so vulnerable, and at the same time realizing that I am very strong, much stronger than I thought, that I am in the journey, in the way to become my dream. It hasn't been easy, but it has been possible thanks to very tiny efforts. I don't think addictions are bad. I don't believe addictions should be totally denied. I think we need to learn from them. Like we need to learn from our fears, like we need to learn from our shame, guilt, sense of loss, mental health, even physical health. If you have chronic illnesses, everything that we are experiencing that makes us feel weak could very well be our greatest strength. And this is where your wisdom and the wisdom of the universe combined can create a massive transformation. If you allow yourself to think outside the box and be brave in taking risks, healthy risks. I'm not asking you to go and jump from the highest cliff if you have not even jumped a rope. Start with a rope. And then once you get used to the rope, well, probably just increase the challenge and keep going and keep moving and keep creating this progress. At this point, I would like to invite you, how are we doing on time? We have 10 minutes. I would like to invite you to, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, suggestions, please share them with me. In the meantime, I'm going to let you know that next week we're going to start another 5 days of transmission. This is to be able to be connected during the lockdown and to talk about the things that we normally don't talk about in a way that I don't know if you have ever heard, but I never did in my time, and I would like to be able to open up a channel where we can see ourselves not as black and white, not as good or bad, but as something of a work in progress, something that we can learn from ourselves and we can learn from each other. I invite you to follow, to go to my website, Ankh-Samsara.com, if you want to get in touch with me. I'm building my website, so there is not a lot that you will find there, just probably the contact form. But if you have questions, if you just want to say hello, if you like to say hello, or I don't know, whatever, please send me a message. Do you teach workshops? I love this. Oh, thank you so much. What's your name? Career and Health Mom. Oh, hello, Career and Health Mom. I do teach workshops. I haven't done a physical workshop, but MoreYoga is my home, and I do work with MoreYoga very often in my workshops. And we are already, I'm working with Shamira and the MoreYoga team to put together something physical when all this finishes. And I would be very, very happy if you would like to be notified of my workshops. Please, you go to my website, Ankh-Samsara.com, and subscribe to the newsletter. You just need to put your email. I promise that I will not send you 1,000 emails. Actually, you probably will not receive one until I have a workshop created. So don't expect weekly or daily emails from me. I'm not that kind of person. But if you want to be notified of future workshops, please leave me your email in my website. Mary Jane, are we talking about weed? What are we talking about? Was that your name? Because many people call Mary Jane, or I don't know. Anyway, I think for tonight we are coming to a close, and I want to thank you so much because you have made my dreams come true. I have just experienced 5 days, actually 7 days of live transmissions where I have poured my heart out. I have had moments. Oh, your name. Thank you so much, Marjane. Marjane. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'm sorry about confusing it. Thank you so very much and welcome. I really want to keep seeing you all next Monday, 6:33 at 33 seconds. I will let you know why I use that the time of the day. 6:33, and we will be talking about a lot more about numerology and spirituality. And if you have suggestions about things that you would like me to discuss and talk about, please send me your messages or comments at Ankh-Samsara.com. Thank you for teaching the tapping. Today we didn't do any tapping, but we will be doing a lot more from Monday on. Thank you so much. If you want to learn about the Ankh-Samsara Kriya, the Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ram Das Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ram Das Guru, and that for 108 times. If you want to learn that, which I call the crisis and trauma meditation for survivors and thrivers. If you want to learn about this very unique and very powerful meditation that I use every single day of my life to transcend fears, traumas, shames, guilts, and all that negativity, please send me a message and I will share with you all this information with you. Okay? Don't think twice. If you're feeling the call, go to your phone, well, not now because you're watching me right now, but write down my website and send me a message as soon as we finish this transmission. Okay? If with nothing to do, I truly wish you the most beautiful, sunny, clear, abundant, loving, nurturing weekend of your life. Have a wonderful time. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. Relax, enjoy yourself, enjoy your surroundings, and see you next time. Okay? Namaste. Satnam. Hasta la próxima. I bless you, I love you, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. See you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Look how many hearts. Oh my goodness, you are so loving and so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Akachita. I love you. Thank you, Judy. Thank you so much. Marjane, thank you so much. Thank you. From Monday to remember, okay? So go now, have your dinner, and I will see you next week. I'm cutting in 5, 4, in 3, and 2, and 1. Bye. Love you.